Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And this is our top 5 compact luxury SUVs.
Now, we put them in alphabetical order. We don't do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 because everybody has different needs and wants, and what may work for you may not work for someone else.
All right, so let's get into it.
Up first is the Acura RDX, and it gets a refresh for 2025, tweaks to the interior, but it still does a lot well. It is a spacious and comfortable SUV.
It also didn't get the same update that they gave the Acura MDX. That's the 3-row midsize. On that product, they changed the center console to get rid of the trackpad. The trackpad is how you interact with the radio and the head unit. They left that in RDX, and we're really disappointed that that still exists. That's why we don't choose them 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For some people, they won't care. They just want to have a vehicle that, as Andrea mentioned, is roomy and is actually quite fun to drive and has had a long track record.
Disappointing for sure. That is a source of frustration for many people. I do hear that people who own the RDX do get used to the trackpad, but it definitely needs to go. A good positive with the RDX is that the rear seat offers a flat floor. So if you've got 3 kids that are sitting across the back, that middle seat will also be quite comfortable for them.
Yeah, and also the powertrain. You know, this is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, and it's got good power. It's up near the top end of power compared to some other premium models. The driving dynamics are pretty good, and we're going to get into the quality scores in just a moment, so stick around for that.
Now, what it doesn't do well is it doesn't get great fuel economy. If you own an RDX, type below and let us know what kind of fuel economy you're getting. It is not the worst on our list. There is another one that isn't as great.
Let's get into all the specs.
The RDX has a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with a 10-speed automatic transmission, 272 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive in Canada. In the US, both front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available. Premium fuel is recommended.
J.D. Power gives the RDX an overall score of 78 out of 100 and Consumer Reports 75 out of 100.
Here's the pricing. In Canada, it starts at just over $56,500 and goes all the way up to just over $65,000. In the US, just over $44,500 and it goes all the way up to just under $54,500.
Here's the fuel economy, 11 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 8.6 on the highway. That's 21 miles per gallon in the city, 27 miles per gallon highway.
Up next in alphabetical order is the BMW X3.
And you're probably wondering, alphabetical order, well, what the heck happened to the Audi Q5, which has been on our top 5 list the last few years? There has been a new Q5 that has been unveiled. We haven't seen it in person. We certainly haven't driven it. So we're going to take a pause this year, and it might make the list next year.
The BMW is all new for 2025, and some may like the exterior and interior design, some may not. I think that I could live with the exterior. What it does so well, my goodness, is that powertrain. It is a terrific handling vehicle, and I actually think it is one of the most engaging in this segment.
Yeah, the one they gave us was the inline 6, Andrea, which of course always makes things better. But you know what? Even the 2-liter sort of base turbocharged engine has been a great workhorse for BMW. Exterior styling is different. They have made the back look more like the electric SUV called the iX. The front grille is toned down compared to, say, the iX that had the big buck teeth grille. They've turned that down a little bit. But on the inside, this is where Andrea and I are not big fans of the latest X3.
Yeah, there's a lot more hard plastic. There's a lot more ambient lighting. And I just feel like I really want that sophistication and elegance of an interior that BMW used to offer. To me, it just feels more high-tech.
Well, it feels in some areas cheaper. Like they have a lot of hard plastic on the inside, the shiny hard plastic around the iDrive controller, which is good news. They kept that for the X3. That iX I referenced a moment ago, the electric SUV, they don't have the control wheel. So people who are migrating from an older one to this one, at least that will be familiar.
And although the inline 6 is just terrific, that model comes with the M Sport suspension, and it is a little bit firmer. So if you are prone to driving on some harsher roads, you will find that it doesn't eat up those bumps in the road as much as you'd like. What it does do well, it now has this 48-volt mild hybrid system, and the fuel economy, even on that M50 model, is excellent.
But you know what? For most people, they buy the base unit, the 2-liter 4-cylinder. So for them, they're probably fine.
The X3 has two powertrain options. The base engine is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with a 48-volt mild hybrid system, 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. The more powerful 3-liter turbocharged inline 6 also has a 48-volt mild hybrid system, 393 horsepower and 428 pound-feet of torque. Both models are paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Standard all-wheel drive and premium fuel is required.
J.D. Power gives the X3 a predicted overall score of 81 out of 100 and Consumer Reports 76 out of 100.
Here's the starting price of the X3. The base model starts at just over $62,500 in Canada, and the M50 is just under $79,000 in Canada. In the US, the base model is $49,500 and the M50 just over $64,000.
Here's the fuel economy for the base 2-liter turbo, 8.7 liters per 100 kilometers city, 7.1 on the highway. That's 27 miles per gallon city, an impressive 33 miles per gallon highway. The inline 6-cylinder is 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers city, 7.8 on the highway. That's 25 miles per gallon city, 30 miles per gallon highway.
Up next is the Genesis GV70. Wow, terrific powertrains, whether you get the 2.5T or the 3.5T, and also the features compared to the price. There's a lot of value with this model.
Yeah, we had one just recently, a few months ago, and it had been a while since we had driven it. We got back in it and it was like, wow, this brand does interiors so nicely, and you compare it to, say, for example, the X3 we talked about just a moment ago, and some of the materials feel kind of less than compared to what you're paying for. With Genesis, you get more than. You seem like you get more. The materials, the finish is excellent.
Yeah, it's really terrific, and it's a comfortable vehicle. So you feel like you're in an upscale, luxurious vehicle. It's a real luxury experience, but also a nice blend of performance and comfort when it comes to the drive.
Yeah, in our experience, the base model with the 2.5-liter turbo delivers a real nice combination of power, and it doesn't cost nearly as much as the more powerful 3.5-liter. So if you're shopping for a value-driven luxury product with good power and a lot of features, that base model is excellent.
Now, there are a few cons, more positives, I would say, with this model, but some people complain about the two dials at the center console, and sometimes they mix them up. I think it's something that you get used to if it's your vehicle and you use it all the time. What it doesn't do well is fuel economy. It is the worst on our list. You just saw the BMW X3, whether you get the base model or you get the M50 model, better fuel economy for both of those models compared to the RDX and the GV70.
Yeah, but they're, instead of a 2-liter, they're doing 2.5-liter. Instead of a 3-liter, they're doing a 3.5-liter. Yeah. So that's why.
The GV70 has three powertrain options, a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 300 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. The more powerful 3.5-liter twin turbocharged V6 has 375 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque. There's also the electric GV70 with up to 383 kilometers, 238 miles of range, 429 horsepower, and 516 pound-feet of torque.
J.D. Power gives the GV70 a reliability score of 76 out of 100. Consumer Reports 63 out of 100.
Here's the pricing. In Canada, it starts at $61,000 and goes all the way up to $80,000. In the US, just over $45,500 and goes up to just under $68,000.
Here's the fuel economy for the 2.5-liter turbo, 11.8 liters per 100 kilometers city, 9 on the highway. That's 19 miles per gallon city, 26 miles per gallon highway. For the 3.5-liter turbo, 12.9 liters per 100 kilometers city, 10 on the highway. That's only 18 miles per gallon in the city, 24 on the highway.
Up next in alphabetical order is the Lexus NX with 4 powertrain options, 2 electrified.
You know what? We get more comments about the NX than we do anything else in this class of vehicle. We have a segment that we run twice a week called Questions, Coffee, and Cars. More questions about the Lexus NX because people are really drawn to it because of those 4 powertrain options. Toyota came out with hybrids for almost all of their vehicles, and this thing sells incredibly well.
Does it ever? It's got updated technology, standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's comfortable. You'll find the seats comfortable in the NX. And depending on the model that you choose from, there are 2 gas models and then a hybrid and a plug-in hybrid. You will find that whether your goal is fuel economy, comfort level, maybe even a little bit of fun with the gas model. But remember, even though the F Sport models have a sport tuned suspension, it never really departs from the Lexus comfort level that we're all used to.
On the downside, probably the biggest negative against the NX is the fact that it isn't one of the bigger ones in this class, which might be perfect for some people. Back seat isn't that big. Cargo isn't that big, and Andrea mentioned there's 2 powertrain options. The base one, I just want to let you know what it is. This is based on the Toyota RAV4 platform. The base gas engine is the same engine they use in the RAV4 gas model. So that wouldn't be my choice. It's a price point model. I rarely ever see one on the road. I think more people are gravitating towards the hybrid, but keep that in mind. If you go for the base model, that is not the most refined driveline.
Yeah, I think the 350 gas model is the way to go. Sometimes the run flat tires, I find the noise level can trickle into the cabin a little bit, but overall it's a great product and terrific fuel economy. We do find on the lower trims that there's a little bit more shiny hard plastic in there. I think that Lexus could eliminate that. Even though it is on the lower trim, it's a Lexus. The NX 250 has a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque. The 350, a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 275 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. Both gas models are paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission.
The hybrid is the NX 350H with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder with the Lexus hybrid drive, a combined 240 horsepower. Lexus doesn't publish torque numbers. There's the 450H Plus, that's the plug-in with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder with 304 horsepower, 61 kilometers or 37 miles of electric range. The hybrid and the plug-in are paired with an eCVT. All models are all-wheel drive except that base model, the NX 250, has a front-wheel drive option in the United States.
J.D. Power gives the NX an overall score of 82 out of 100, and Consumer Reports gives the NX an overall score of 78 to 83 out of 100. The hybrid and plug-in hybrids get the best score. Here's the pricing. In Canada, it starts at just over $54,000 and goes all the way up to just over $80,500. In the U.S., just under $42,000 and goes up to $63,500.
Here's the fuel economy for the base 250 all-wheel drive. 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.4 on the highway. That's 25 miles per gallon city, 32 on the highway. The NX 350 with a 2.4-liter turbo is 10.5 liters per 100 kilometers city, 8.3 on the highway. 22 miles per gallon city, 29 miles per gallon highway.
The hybrid gets 5.7 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 6.4 on the highway. That's 41 miles per gallon city, 37 miles per gallon on the highway. The plug-in hybrid gets a combined 2.8 liters equivalent per 100 kilometers. That's 84 miles per gallon equivalent combined.
Next up is the Mercedes-Benz GLC, also with a number of different powertrains. And I would classify this one, Andrea, as the traditional luxury option on the list.
Actually, Mercedes-Benz did a really good job with the GLC. It really does have more of a luxurious cabin. I also find that the drive is great. The seats are comfortable. Once again, this is another vehicle that's a nice blend of performance as well as comfort level. And I gotta say, it's so nice that they've brought in a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, I would push this more towards the comfort. The BMW is a little sportier, and the RDX may be sporty as well. So if you like that real smooth, traditional, quiet luxury, Mercedes-Benz knows how to do that. One negative, Andrea, on the outside, I can't really spot the difference. We drove the new model, and from 10 paces, if you don't really know your Mercedes-Benz, you have no idea this is the new model. I really can't see what they did to it. Apparently there's changes, but you can see if you can spot them.
Now, unless you move to the interior, all you have to do is look inside the window if you spot one on the road. A lot of people don't love that center console large screen, and a lot of functions are now done in that screen. It is something that you do get used to, but some people feel that the large screen is a little bit polarizing.
We've been in and out of quite a few Mercedes-Benz over the last couple of years. The electric versions or the gasoline versions, and they all use this similar tablet style. And I have to say, it's easy. Like, it's really intuitive. It will not take you long to figure it out.
No.
The negative is, you know, fingerprints and dust. If that taps into your OCD, that might not be for you.
One thing you will find, and I have to point out, is that Mercedes-Benz has done such a great job with insulating the cabin. It really is quiet. There are 4 powertrain options. The base engine is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with a 48-volt mild hybrid system. It's matched to a 9-speed automatic transmission, 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive in Canada, but there is a rear-wheel drive model available in the US. The GLC 350E, a plug-in hybrid, also with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 313 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. It has 87 kilometers, 54 miles of EV range.
Then we get to the fun models, the AMG 43 with 416 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. Then there's the AMG 63 with 671 horsepower, 752 pound-feet of torque, of course, standard all-wheel drive. J.D. Power gives the GLC gas models a predicted overall score of 80 out of 100. Consumer Reports just 57 out of 100. The plug-in has not been tested yet.
Here's the pricing. In Canada, it starts at $59,500 and goes all the way up to $110,000. In the US, just over $49,000 and up to $86,000.
Here's the fuel economy for the 2-liter turbo. 10 liters per 100 kilometers city, 7.6 on the highway. That's 23 miles per gallon city, 31 miles per gallon highway. For the plug-in hybrid, it's 3.7 liters equivalent per 100 kilometers. That's 64 miles per gallon equivalent combined.
So there's our list in alphabetical order. Type below, let us know what you think, and if your vehicle is not on the list and you think it should, we'd love to hear from you.
But what happened to, I know some people are going to jump in about Lincoln.
Volvo, the
Volvo.
XC60, which is also a great vehicle.
You know, Andrea and I hashed this out for quite a few days before we come up with this list. And we think first of all, we think the list is fantastic. It's a great list. But there's reasons why we put these particular models on there. It has a wide spectrum of potential buyers, from soft and smooth to fun and everything in between.
And you'll see that some get a better reliability score than others. So if reliability is number 1 on your list, look at that. If great fuel economy is number 1 on your list, look at that. If it's technology, is it exterior design? They're all a little bit different.
It's all right. So right below, what do you think? And thanks for watching.
See you next time.